With this program update, we've moved away from the points-based program to a reflective model. This type of program includes development of learning plans, with each plan including a learning goal, learning activities, and a reflection. There is a new platform for entering your learning plans, but this is the same platform that we've been using for several years now for our registration renewal. The self-assessment component is also new. And the focus of this program update is on goals and reflection rather than on activities and points for each activity. Information on the Continuing Competence program can be found under the Members tab on the CDM website. This is also where you will access the platform for entering your learning plans. The first tab under Members is for the Continuing Competence program. And to the left, you'll see menu tabs for program requirements, entering your learning plans, screening, audit, and jurisprudence. The first step is to click on the tab for Enter My Learning Plans. On this page, there are several resources that you can refer to. The first is a link to the Guide for Completing Your Learning Plans, which provides step-by-step instructions, including screenshots for every step of the process. At the bottom, there are several resources. There's a link to the professional standards, a link to a guide for writing SMART learning goals, supporting documentation, which is information that's required in the event that you're audited, and this information is largely unchanged from the previous program. There's a link to tips for writing your self-reflection, as well as an FAQ. So the first step is to click on the green rectangular box, which will take you to the platform where you can enter your learning plans. You will be brought to a login page, and the information that you enter will be the same as the information that you use when logging in to renew your license to practice. Once you've logged in, you'll be brought to your member home page, which will look familiar to you based on the previous renewals. The new section on this page is the My Self-Assessments in the lower right corner. The first step will be to click on My Learning on the left side, and that will bring you to the self-assessment. Click on the arrow beside the current registration year of 2021-2022. On this page, you'll find some general information on the CC program, and you would click as directed at the bottom of the page to go to the self-assessment. The self-assessment involves reflecting on the profession's expectations for practice to assist you to identify your learning needs each year. A lot of dietitians will start the self-assessment with an idea of what it is they would like to learn about. But if not, there are several strategies listed that can help you with your self-assessment. This is the self-assessment for the current registration year. So what you'll be doing is putting in the information that corresponds to the learning goals that you set last year with your CC submission, or the learning goals that you've been working on for the past registration year if your goals have changed. Go through the list of standards and indicators and choose all of the indicators that correspond to your current learning goals. You can select more than 2 indicators, as you'll have the opportunity to narrow it down on the next screen. On this page, you'll select the 2 indicators that correspond to your learning goals. You cannot use the same indicator for both of your learning goals, so you'll need to choose a different indicator. Our professional standards are quite broad, so there will be another indicator that does correspond. On this page, you'll notice that the indicators you have chosen are populated under Goal 1 and Goal 2. The next step is to enter the learning goals that you've been working on for the past registration year. Again, if your goals have changed, enter the current learning goals that you've been working on. We recommend that your goals are formulated according to the SMART criteria, and there is a link to further information on this page if you click on the little blue circle. Your goals must be learning goals and not a career goal or a job task. For each goal, you'll also identify the anticipated outcome of your learning. These categories are quite broad, and you can select more than one if it's applicable. To add activities into the Learning Activity Record, click on the blue square that says Add. For each activity, you'll need to enter the date completed, the title of the activity, the speaker and host, as well as the type of activity. For the type of activity, there is a drop-down menu, but if you don't see your activity listed, there is an Other option, and you can describe the activity as free text. You're also able to upload supporting documentation for each activity directly to your CC submission. Supporting documentation is required in the event that you're audited, but it may be easier to enter this information when you're initially entering the activity. The requirements for supporting documentation can be found on the CDM website. Supporting documents must be in PDF or JPEG format, and you can upload one supporting document per activity. Once you've completed all of your learning activities, the next step is to reflect on your learning. When you're completing the self-reflection, keep in mind that you'll be reflecting on all of your learning as a whole rather than each activity separately. In your reflection, include why you chose this learning goal, what you accomplished in completing these activities, what knowledge you gained, as well as the outcome or impact on your practice. If you're not currently practicing, then please indicate how your practice could be affected or enhanced in the future when you do return to practice. You may find it easier to draft your reflection in a Word document and then copy and paste it into this section. Your reflection should be brief, and there are tips for writing your self-reflection on the CDM website. Once you've entered all of the information for both of your learning plans, you'll need to click either Submit or Save for Later at the bottom of this page. So for example, if you prefer to enter your activities one at a time as you complete them, you would click Save for Later so that you could go back and add more information. If you've completed all of the information, including your reflection, and you're ready to submit it to the college, then you would click on Submit. It is very important that you don't leave this page or open any other windows until you've clicked either Submit or Save for Later. And the last stage of the process is to enter your learning goals for the 2022-2023 renewal year. So to enter your future goals. To do this, you'll go back to the main menu and click on My Learning. Click on the green plus sign at the top of the page. The next registration year will be displayed. Click on the green Save button. You'll be brought back to the self-assessment section just as you were at the start of the process. Select the indicators that correspond to your learning needs, and then again on the next screen, you'll narrow it down to the two that correspond to your learning goals. Enter your learning goals for the upcoming registration year and indicate the anticipated outcome or outcomes of your learning. Click Submit at the bottom of the page. If your learning goals happen to change throughout the year, you can update this information at any time. Submitting your self-assessment and future goals is the last step of the process. On your member homepage, you will be able to see that both of the self-assessments have been submitted. If you have any questions about the CC program update or the platform, please contact Heidi or Sandra at the college.